Hello and welcome. My name is Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind the Country Chic Cottage. Today we're going to talk about my Epson EcoTank printer and what I do when I find it has a clog or potentially might have a clog. So first of all, how do I know that my EcoTank printer has a clog? My first indication would be when I go to print a print that is supposed to look like this, very colorful, all the colors, and I get something out of the printer that looks a little something like this. So a huge difference, and I can tell right away there might be an issue. If you suspect there might be an issue or you want to check if you might have a clog, the first step really is to print a nozzle check page. But before you do that, I do want you to make sure that your ink tanks have some ink in them. They don't have to be all the way full, but they do need to have some ink and not be low on ink. And you can do that right on the front of your printer. There are some windows and you can see if there are ink in those windows. If you can see the ink and it's not at the add line, then you're good to go. Then you will print a nozzle check page next. Now all of these test pages, check pages that we might print, you could print on regular copy paper because we're not going to use them for sublimation. Once we start trying again for this gorgeous colorful print, we will use sublimation paper. But in the meantime, you could use copy paper in your printer instead, just to not waste your sublimation paper. So the first thing we're going to do is print that nozzle check page, and let's take a look at how to do that. To print the nozzle check page, you'll go over to Settings, press OK, then click OK on Maintenance, and click OK on Nozzle Check. Then it tells you to load plain paper and then press this button to print. So we're going to go ahead and press that button and it will print our nozzle check page. Now depending on how you have your paper settings set up on your Epson EcoTank, it may say there's a mismatched paper type, but we're just going to say OK. We're just interested in it actually printing the page. Then we'll press OK again for continue printing. So now I've printed my nozzle check page and you want to look up here at the top and there should be a set of lines. So we can see that the black lines all look good. The blue lines all look pretty good. The yellow lines look kind of fair, but the red lines look almost like they're not there. So my red ink is not coming out of my printer. So now we need to do a few more things because we do in fact have a clog on the printer. So this nozzle check page will tell you if you have a clog. You want to look for broken lines or missing segments along those lines. So sometimes it might just be a few missing segments, and other times like mine, the clog might be more intense and you might be missing entire lines. If you're missing even segments, it can affect your print. After it prints the nozzle check page, it will ask you if there are missing segments. I'm going to say yes by pressing OK. Then it will ask you if you want to clean the print head. So I recommend skipping this step at first. Let's try one more step before we clean the print head. So cleaning the print head can shorten the life of your printer. So we're going to try not to do that. So I'm going to go down and say no. So now I'm going to print some printer purge files. First of all, what are printer purge files? They're just a full sheet of ink and it's trying to force the ink through the printer so the clog clears itself without having to do any print head cleanings, which can shorten the life of the printer. Now, I do have several printer purge files for free and I will drop a link in the description below this video so you can grab those. Now the link can be found in the description below the video. On computer, scroll down, click show more. On mobile, either swipe up on the video or click the arrow to expand the description depending on how you're watching. Now let's take a look at the printer purge files I printed. First of all, this is what a printer purge file is supposed to look like. So I printed this actually on a different sublimation printer and you can see all four colors. So you have black, cyan, which is blue, yellow, and magenta, which is the red color. When I print them on this Epson EcoTank printer, I'm getting something that looks like this, which indicates that there is a problem, in fact, with my magenta. I did want to stop here and note when you are printing your printer purge files, regardless of the one that you print, you do want to print it with the same settings just like you were printing regularly. So what I do is I pick a matte paper setting, I turn on high quality, and I turn off bidirectional or high speed printing. Now in this case, I'm not going to be pressing these, so I don't mirror them. You could mirror them or not mirror them. It's not going to make a difference with these files. So be sure to get your settings right when you're printing your printer purge files. Now you can print these several times, and I went ahead and printed several different copies here, and there was always a problem with just the magenta, it appears. It appears the other colors are coming out pretty good. So I also have files that are just a solid sheet of one color. So in the case of the magenta, the file is supposed to look like this. When I print it on this Epson EcoTank printer, I'm getting something that looks like this. Now you can print, again, you can print these many, many times. If you want to save your printer life, you can print these 10, 20 times. You can print 10 copies of this, wait 24 hours because that often helps the printer, then print a few more copies and see if it looks good. If you don't have time for that, or this doesn't work, so this does not appear to be working in my case. I have not waited the 24 hours, but for this video, I'm gonna run some cleaning cycles anyway, so we might as well run them. So the first step is to run a print head cleaning. So there's two different stages of cleaning. There's gonna be your regular cleaning and your power clean. So the power clean is our last resort. We will do one in this video just so you can see it, but the power clean is gonna be your last resort. So the first thing we wanna do is a print head cleaning and see if that helps our situation. Now, at this point, I could print this nozzle check page again, just to see if I've made any difference. But by the looks of these pages, I haven't made much of a difference. So let's go ahead and look at how you run a print head cleaning, because you might be at that stage now that you've printed a few printer purge files and are just fed up and saying that's not helping at all. So again, on this front panel, we're going to scroll over until we get to settings and press OK. And then we're going to choose maintenance. And on maintenance, I have both a head cleaning and a power cleaning. I'm going to try the head cleaning first and press OK. Then it asks you basically if you're sure, and you'll press the button to start the cleaning cycle. Now these cleaning cycles might take several minutes, so allow your printer to run. My cleaning cycle took about 3 minutes, and now I do want to go down and print the nozzle check and click OK. My first nozzle check is on the top, and you can see there are way more missing segments in the magenta than there are on the second nozzle check that I just printed. So I am doing some good, but I am not there yet. I'm gonna go ahead and run one more regular head cleaning. You can run as many of these as you would like. So all of these printing of purge files and head cleanings are gonna take quite a bit of ink. While you're doing this process, be sure to keep an eye on your ink takes and your ink levels. Never let your printer run too low of ink. Go ahead and add ink if you need to before you do any head cleanings or that big power clean. So I did my second print head cleaning. I printed a nozzle check sheet, and the yellow, the cyan, and the magenta, all three were not coming out any longer. I tried printing some printer purge files, got the same result. No other colors but black are coming out. Now, just as reference, this is what the printer purge file is supposed to look like, and this is what my printer purge file looks like now. So the entire process of removing the clog from your Epson EcoTank printer can be extremely frustrating. What do you do now? Now would be a great time to take a break. Letting your printer sit for 24 hours can work magic. I could continue to print more of these printer purge files. There's probably error in the lines of all three of these colors or somewhere in the printer, causing the ink not to come out. I could try printing 20 of these to try to push that air through. But allowing it to sit for 24 hours often does the same thing. Then you can come back after 24 hours, and then where do you start? Start all over. Print a nozzle check sheet. Are the colors coming out now? Try the printer purge files again. Try some print head cleanings. Or get super frustrated, jump all the way to that power cleaning. There's no set method for unclogging your printer. At any step in this process, my printer could have started printing and been fine. So I could have printed 2 of these printer purge files. It could have been fine, and I could have been printing again. I could have done one print head cleaning and it could be fine and I could be printing again. However, it might take me 10 or more print head cleanings, a couple of power cleanings, 20 or more of either of these printer purge files to get the ink flowing through my printer. But my best advice to you is to give it that wait time. I think you will find that it is well worth it. So what I'm gonna do now is stop, wait 24 hours, come back and print a nozzle check page after my printer has had time to sit, and hopefully that air has worked its way out. Okay, it is day 2. I started out with a nozzle check, same as yesterday, and I was getting a few marks over here in the colored area, so I printed several printer purge files. They looked better. I was starting to get some color. It's going to be hard to see because it's faint, but I was starting to get some color. So I went ahead and did, after several printer purge files, I did another print head cleaning. Printed another nozzle check and things were looking better. So I was encouraged and printed several more printer purge files. So as you can kind of tell, there's a cycle of things that I do when the printer has a clog. These looked better at first, progressively got worse actually as I printed the printer purge files. So I did do another print head cleaning, another nozzle check. It looks very similar to the second one I did up here. So not a lot is progressing. At this point, I could continue this cycle. However, I have seen recommendations that you should not do 3 print head cleanings in a row without printing in between. So I did want to mention that here. I am not, because I am printing these printer purge files in the middle, but I just wanted to warn you not to do them straight in a row. So now that I've done another print head cleaning, things don't look great. I've been printing on it, I'm still not having any progress. I could continue with these cycles. I could wait another 24 hours, try again. There's obviously air still in the lines. So I could do my 24-hour wait at this point and start all over with a nozzle check, some printer purge files, maybe a head cleaning, and just start the process over. However, for this video, I am going to do a power cleaning anyway, and I would rather not do it actually at the end after I have the clog cleared. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a power clean at this point. Now it is up to you. Power clean should be your last resort, and it's up to you whether you want to do it at any point in time, but it will shorten the life of your printer. I am okay with that because I'm doing it for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to run the power clean. On my printer, you go over to maintenance once again, press OK, and then you go over to power cleaning, press OK, and then it'll just tell you a website to go to. So let me walk you through the process of the actual power clean. To run the power clean, we're going to turn the printer off. Then once the printer's off, you're going to want to check your ink levels. They need to be at least 1/3 full. This is going to use a lot of ink, remember that. And then we're going to hold down the power button and the help button at the same time until you see the screen for the power clean. So power button and help button, which looks like a question mark. We're going to press those at the same time and hold them down. And you'll see a power clean screen. Then you just press OK to start the power clean. And the power clean will take several minutes. When you run a power clean, you cannot run them back to back. You need to wait at least 12 hours before running another one. So the power clean did make me refill my ink, reset my ink levels, but it walked me through everything on the screen. And after it was done, about 7 minutes, it tells me that I should wait 12 hours basically to print. So I'm going to let this printer sit again, and we'll come back in 12-24 hours and see if we made any headway on getting a good print from this Epson EcoTank. All right, it is day 3 and I have some success. So I waited right at 24 hours actually. It did say on my printer 12 hours, but just convenient for me, I waited probably 24 and I started all over again. I printed the nozzle check page. This time it came out perfectly. There were no missing segments. So then I was excited and I printed one printer purge file just to see what it would look like, and it looked perfect, just how it's supposed to look. So now my Epson EcoTank printer is ready for printing. Now you might say to yourself, how did you get your printer clogged and how can I prevent this from happening to me. I actually clogged this printer on purpose just to make this video. So over the course of 6 to 8 months, I replicated very inoften printing. I only printed every month, every 6 weeks, something like that, and I would only print a few sheets at a time. So I was trying to replicate a user that doesn't use their printer very often and what would happen in that case. And a clog is what will happen. Now there is no telling when that will happen. So you could only wait 4 weeks one time and get a clog, or you could be like me and it could take 6 to 8 months to get one. There is no rhyme or reason to when or why you would get a clog. But you can prevent this from happening in the beginning by regular printing. So I recommend weekly printing on an Epson EcoTank that's been converted for sublimation. Now the good news is you can print images that you would like to press later and save those images. As long as you save them in a place free from moisture, free from dirt, free from dust, things like that, you can use them months and months later. I've used some of mine and like 9 months later, seriously. So definitely you can use them much later. So you can print things that you will use. So don't think you are printing things that you won't use. Now we do all go on vacation, and the drawback of an Epson EcoTank is that you do need to print regularly. But when you find yourself back from vacation with a clogged printer, then you have this video to reference and you can come back here at any point in time. The other thing with clogs is you want to check the humidity and environment of your room. So you don't want a room that is too humid or too dry, because that can affect the ink in your sublimation printer. You also want to check any vents, fans, air intakes. Are they close to your printer? That could dry out the heads and cause clogs. So environmental factors can factor into this as well. Be sure to take that into account when you're thinking about where to put your printer to store it. Now clogs don't only happen on an Epson EcoTank. So if you have, say, an Epson F170 or even the Sawgrass sublimation printers, you can definitely get clogs in those. Now the procedure is fairly similar for those. However, it might vary slightly, but you can definitely try the same procedure that I've shown here for those printers if you get a clog in those. So now, hopefully you are well on your way to, first of all, removing, and second of all, preventing clogs in your Epson EcoTank printer. I did want to stop here before we go any further and note that if you're having trouble with just lines in your print, or it may or may not be a clog. So my printer clogged first, so I'm doing this video first, and at a later date I'm going to do a full video all about lines in the print. So if you are watching this right when it comes out, wait a few weeks, hopefully I'll have another video for you. If you're watching this at a later date, check out my YouTube channel for the video all about lines in your prints. That might help you a little bit more than this video will, because it may or may not be a clog and you might get frustrated with this video if you're just dealing with lines. And now that my printer is clear, I am going to actually print that flower and use it in a project. So hopefully this helped you. Again, the printer purge files themselves, I do have those for free and you can go ahead and download those. Keep them on hand even if you don't have a clog right now, and that way you'll have them when you do, if you can remember this procedure. So to find those, they are in the description below this video. So if you are on computer, scroll down and click show more. If you're on mobile, swipe up on the video or click the arrow to expand the description. You'll find a link, you'll sign up, then I'll send these printer purge files to your email. You'll download those and you will be ready to use them anytime you may or may not have a clog in your printer. A printer purge file is a great resource, whether or not you have a clog or not. It can fix a ton of issues just by running a few of those through. So a great thing to keep on hand regardless. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything we've covered, feel free to drop down in the comment section, ask away. And if you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos just like this one every single week, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of those. So thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.